Alright, here's the car. Did a little video for you. Made it to the beach. Didn't think there'd be a bunch of people out here, so probably won't start it up yet. Probably have to do a different video, maybe later today. So I was going to show you a couple things you were curious about with quarter panel and how the exhaust exits out. So we'll probably do the exhaust first. So as you can tell, just looking at the side, that's how it comes out. But the side light might be a little better. So it kind of just comes out, the very bottom of the rear bumper. It's got the little, custom-made shrouds around it that are painted black, and then it comes out a little bit, past that. As you can tell, there's a, little bit of carbon built up. Obviously, it's gonna get that. See if I can go under it so you can see what it looks like under here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not. Not sure what you're really able to see with that as a kind of firing blind there. But then here's the quarter panels. Like I said in text, they're not immaculately perfect, but I mean, you stand a foot away from it. I mean, you can't really tell unless you really point it out. I mean, you can kind of run your finger on it, and it's pretty flush most places. There's a tiny little bit of a, you can kind of tell it's not OEM factory specs, and like if you really were to run your fingernail, like down the creases and whatnot, you can kind of tell that it sits a little more flush in certain spots than it does others. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's kind of maybe half a millimeter of, here to here is not completely perfectly flush. Other than that though, I mean, looking along the seams, like, it's definitely not like crappy by any means. I'm just, like everyone else, really particular about stuff. The fuel door actually does sit really flush here. Like, that's actually looks really good. I was really happy with how that turned out. And then the door and stuff here where it meets the door and everything, it's really not bad. Kind of go to the other side. There's really only a very small handful of spots that you can tell okay, they're not OEM GM stuff. Like here, it's not immaculately perfect, but honestly, I mean, even when it was brand new, the stock quarters on, they weren't immaculately perfect anyway. You go here and you can kind of tell that there's a little bit of a difference between, where it goes from here and then it kind of steps down a little bit to there. It's, I mean, millimeter that it's off, Obviously, no one's ever noticed that, and you really have to stick their nose into it and point it out before anyone really notices. But just in the interest of being a perfectionist, I mean, I wouldn't call it a 10 out of 10, but I don't know how much you know about these, but they actually never made a factory wide body for the C5, so it's just molds of a mold. So you're really never going to find a guy that's got an immaculately perfect one unless they spent 20 hours trying to get it perfect. And I think you're also wondering about the inside where the shifter console is. So there's the shift knob, got my wallet and stuff in there, sorry if you there's the shift knob and how the shifter sits and whatnot. I will try later once it kind of wind dies down and get to somewhere that's not as crowded as I thought it was. Maybe do a startup and an idle and maybe a couple of flybys just to give you an idea of what the drone and what the exhaust sounds like and how it idles and all that stuff. So here's the first video, so I'll send that off to you.